appreciate her even as I welcome her to take us through. Show her some love. Let me see those emojis as we welcome our speaker. Welcome, Herin.
Thank you so much, Irenista. I'm not able to see uh, the members in or any reaction, so kindly you can guide me if in case I lose you guys. So just as the moderator has said, my name is Herin Shikuku. I'm working with Life Care International as a client service executive, and it's an honor to speak to you guys about client service. So generally, client service is managing the relationships with clients to ensure satisfaction, loyalty, and repeat business. So an example is, let me use the example from where I work. I work as a client service executive, and it's an insurance company. So in this company, we make sure all we have to do is make sure that our clients they feel well served, they feel satisfied, and they feel that we are of help. So that is basically what client service means. I'll take us to the role of client servicing. We have planning uh, and execution. So, planning in client servicing is understanding clients' need and plan resources. So, for example, my example in this presentation is laundry schedules, extra staff during peak times. So, if I know that there are seasons that a lot of customers will be coming in. For example, I have a laundry business and I have one teller person that is at the front desk receiving clients. And at one point, I feel that maybe in the month of January, because a lot of people are going to school, a lot of people are getting jobs, and they'll be needing good suits for the interviews and for the first week. So during that time, you can plan to have a two or more teller people at the front desk, and also at the back office, that is where the real work is done. You can ensure you have enough labor so that the suits or the clothes are delivered or are ironed, washed on time. Another role of the client service is execution. So you deliver services efficiently. What do I mean by this? There's delivering services and delivering services efficiently. So, stylists, you ensure clothes are ready for pickup. Know that, so for this case, know that when the customer comes, that is when you want to go and confirm if the clothes were washed and ironed and are in order. So when you do it efficiently, it means that when the customer comes, all you need to do is just to confirm his suit number or brand so that you just deliver. That is the role of client servicing. We move to the key elements of client servicing. One key element is communication, clear, timely, and professional. Just this morning, uh, like I said, I'm a client service executive. So just this morning, last week, a client called and asked, "Hi, Herin, I would like to visit." Let me say, so it's a hospital in Dubai, but now let me give an example with Kenya. So she's like, "Hi, Herin, I would like to visit a hospital. Would you kindly give me a network list of the hospitals I can visit?" So this member asks for the network lists. does not tell us what she really wants. So for me is to make sure that I tell her that you are only allowed to go to such and such an hospital, and when you go to that hospital, these are the services you are going to be offered. There are other services that you cannot be offered. So what do I mean by you have to communicate? You have to be you have to be clear enough so that they don't go to the wrong hospital expecting to receive service and yet they are not covered. Another element is responsiveness. That is, you provide quick replies. Uh, for us in the insurance industry, you're expected to answer a client's query within 24 hours. After 24 hours, that is not good. So in your business, how long does it take you to reply clients, and why? If it takes long, why is it that long? Because most of these clients that we offer services to, there is an entitlement, and they expect you as a client service that you are there for them and that they expect you to deliver. When they come, you should be able to respond quickly without any delays. The third element is problem solving. Address address issues and respect clients' comfort. So what do I mean by problem solving? For instance, I tell you your insurance is covered in Aga Khan, and you go there, you find no, your policy had elapsed and you're not covered. I should be able to find a solution. Can I connect you to another hospital where you can get services? How close? It's my responsibility to make sure I get you another hospital that is close to where you are at that moment. So as a client service agent or executive, you should be able to solve problems and with respect. Uh, the fourth one is relationship. You have to build a relationship with your clients. Let me say, let me give an example with something different. So I sell, if I do sell clothes, I need to have to build a relationship with my clients so that they should, once there is a relationship, there is that trust, there is that loyalty, your clients will always come back. But if there is no relationship, that you're just there, uh, they come to you, you sit and wait for them, then they might as well go to somewhere else. So we should build as a company, as a business, as an enterprise, you should be able to build trust and loyalty. Have that relationship. In as much as there are so many clients, there in the place where I work, we have over 1,000 clients, but there are those clients that we have that relationship with. Once you have a relationship with a client, there are referrals. If I have a good relationship with Anne, Anne will refer someone to me. I have a friend called Herin. She's doing this business. I love her clothes are good. So it's also a marketing strategy. Relationship is a marketing strategy. And finally, the feedback. Always want to have feedback because feedbacks help us to know what to work on, where we are going right, where we're not going right. So how do you collect feedback? You can collect feedback by through calls, through emails, through texts. Sometimes when if you have walk-in customers, you can also have feedback through links to get their feedback. And when I talk about feedback, let the feedback be there are people who do not like if I have to collect feedback and I have to ask 1,000 questions, there are people who will get tired. So in when collecting feedback, we should ensure that they are short questions and they are clear and to the point, so that the members do not your clients do not get tired maybe giving you answers to the queries. So there is a process flow in client servicing. We have the onboarding, we have deliver, you monitor, you resolve, and you retain. If I can use the same example with insurance, when I approach you to sell to you an insurance, I have to onboard you. And once I onboard, I have to make sure that I deliver. And in the process of delivering, I have to monitor. I have to monitor how you receive your services, how things are going with the insurance that was sold to you. If there is an issue, I have to resolve it. And definitely, if you are able to resolve an issue with your clients, then you're able to retain that client. So, in this presentation, I talked about onboarding, that is dog grooming services. When you want to bring in new pets, you bring them in with a free nail trim. So you onboard them, and then delivering, when you do food delivery, ensure orders are accurate and delivered hot. There are people who do not love cold food, so if you deliver cold food, that is how you lose a customer. So another outside example in the process of monitoring is home cleaning services. Sends photo once done with the cleaning, so that you are able to see, this is not done right, this is not done right, and you can do some changes. Resolving a bike repair shops, fixes missed repairs and offers a free checkup. So that if you have an issue, if you miss something, so you have to find a solution. And finally, retain photography studios, request reviews, and offers loyalty discounts. If I'm used to buying clothes from Joy, and Joy gives me, she'll be like, you've bought over 100 clothes, let me now give you discount. Definitely, I'll feel like I need to stick to Joy. So as a client service, you should be able to monitor, you should be able to maintain the process flow. When you onboard, you make sure you deliver. And when you deliver, make sure you monitor your clients. If there is an issue, make sure you resolve it so that you can be able to retain your customers. So we have the client service metrics, that is the KPIs. We have the turnaround time and the customer satisfaction. So the turnaround time, there has to be turnaround time, so that clients, this has to be communicated. For example, when I come to your laundry with my suit, and I do not know your turnaround time. That is why I said communication is very key. I leave it there and come back after 3 hours, and I come back not knowing that that is not your turnaround time. Your turnaround time is 5 hours. So I'll be inconvenienced. So as a client service, there should be a turnaround time, so that people are expectant. If you tell me your turnaround time is 5 hours, then I should not, as a customer, I should not blame you if I come before 5 hours elapses. I should be able to put blames only if 5 hours lapses and your services are not rendered properly. Then we have the customer satisfaction. At all times, make sure your customer is satisfied, no matter the situation. Even if there was a mistake on your side or on the customer side, that is why we said that you have to learn in the process flow. You have to learn to resolve issues. By resolving issues, the customer get a lot of satisfaction. If a customer is not satisfied with your business, then they'll move to another business. If, for example, I buy a dress from you and I tell you this is not the quality that I want, I expect you to assure me that next time you'll bring the quality that I want. The next time you bring the quality that I really needed, I will have no reason to leave. I would say, okay, now you met my expectation. Next time, bring the same as this. So, as a client service, we have to ensure our customers are satisfied with our services. So, the best practice in client, we have best practices in client services. So, the best practice in client service is you be polite and professional. You know, as a client service, our customers, the truth is, our customers have a lot of entitlement, and that entitlement needs us to be as polite and as professional as possible. So I'm handling mm, not Kenyans. I work for a Dubai company, and most of the people we deal with are Arabs and Indians, and they are what they easily get pissed off, and they are, let me say, impatient somehow, for lack of a better word. So these people, you have to, when you talk to them, you have to be as professional as possible. Someone would call you and tell you, I went to this and this hospital. I didn't receive. You're wasting my money. I'm paying you to do this and that. And as a normal human being, at that point, you can also get you'll feel bad. You get irritated. But as a client service, what do? You stay calm. You stay calm and find a way to resolve that. You be as polite. You do not fire back. When they fire you, you do not fire back. You be polite and professional. So for example, if they start yelling, I just recently I had my colleague, who is also a client service, she's an Indian. I had her literally crying because a client was yelling at her. And she was like, Mom, sorry, you're yelling at me. Give me time to speak. Give me time. Stop yelling. No, that is somehow very funny. But that is how entitled our clients are. And sometimes they only noticed it later, and they'll be like, sorry, I shouted at you. I just felt frustrated. These people, I was in the hospital is telling me this. I'm sorry, please just help me. So we should be polite in all circumstances, and we should maintain professionalism. No talking back to clients. Sometimes I think if it's a physical office where a client comes and shouts. Sometimes back when I was working with Monarch Insurance as an account assistant, there was a client who came for a claim. It was around 2 million. So they come there and they're yelling. They're literally yelling. And every other client is watching and looking at them and wondering what is happening. So everyone wants to get a story behind the yelling. So at that point, even us, the front office people, and these other people like the underwriters, the claims, there was nothing we could do much. So professionally, someone had to call the finance manager, who came, called them in, told them, we can talk. You don't have to yell. You can talk. Come to the office, take some water, relax. We work things out. So I tend to think insurance is the best place where you can learn about client service. And for lack of a better word, I would say insurance can humble you. So in every situation, you should be polite and professional. You should take ownership. You should take ownership as a practice in client servicing. Take ownership. Do not, sometimes you are right, but because you are serving someone, they'll feel entitled. Take ownership, take charge, help them through the process, explain to them it's this and that in a calm way. Uh, as a client service, always follow up, but respect preferences. Follow up. if in our company we do follow-ups. So I'll call someone and ask, you went to the hospital, did you receive the services, how are you feeling now? If you need any assistance, please do not hesitate to reach out. So there are people who would not like you to follow up on them. They'll be like, no, you don't have to call me. You don't have to remind me to renew my insurance. I'll just renew it. What happens in that scenario? So for that case, you should always just keep a record of those specific clients, because not all, they're just a few who'll always have complaints. So you keep a record, you know that this and this client prefers this, does not prefer this. This and this client wants long clothes, does not want short clothes. This and this client wants her clothes ironed this way. This one wants her clothes ironed this way. Just follow up to know. Then you reward loyalty. For example, carefree drinks after 10 visits. So if you come to my hotel, and I know very well this is a frequent customer, I should be able to take notice of that and offer once in a while, offer free drinks, free food. There are people who would, if they are, if they have a connection, they'll always do referrals. If, for example, you have this one client who does referrals, you should be able to give discounts for him or her. Then document feedback for improvement. Like I said, if a client tells you he or she does not like this, make sure you put it down so that you don't repeat. If I tell you, do not remind me, or if I tell you, do not bring me this cloth, I don't expect you to bring me the same cloth that I rejected. If you have so many clients, document that Herin does not like such and such a cloth. Herin does not like such and such a drink. So that next time you don't, in client services, you have to approach, you have to entice. But when you're trying to do that, you don't commit the same mistake. So those are the best practices in client service, and many that I may not have been able to document. As I conclude, I just want us to know that client servicing is essential to connecting operations with customer satisfaction. Everywhere that we go, in every business, in every enterprise, I believe there has to be customer service, because every business has this customer and has to service that customer. So customer servicing is very essential. It's a form of marketing. It's a form of like having to get more for your company to do well. So by incorporating respect for communication preferences, professional handling of entitled clients, strong service culture, and strategic follow-up. Thank you. My name is Herin Shikoko.
Wow, thank you so much, Herin. Let's appreciate Herin. Let's show her some love. So I want to welcome questions. If any of us has any question that you'd like our speaker for today to elaborate, you can chat it. You can send it as a message in the chat box. You can as well raise your hand, and we'll give you a chance to articulate your question so that it's clearer in case you prefer that approach. From what our speaker has said, we can indeed see that client servicing is essential for the success of any business. It's unavoidable, however small the business is. I believe client servicing plays a very big role to the success of that business. Some of the things that I've just learned is one, client servicing should be timely. The timeliness. You don't take like forever to get back to a customer. Probably a customer requested for something like a week ago, then you get back after 3 or so weeks. And the other key thing for me that stood out is client service should be relationship based, not just like contacting customers or serving them for the sake of it. I mean, just because they are your customers, but it should be something you build a relationship with them, because it's also a way of marketing, as Herin said. From that, you get so many other referrals. I can see there is a question here. So let me start with Simon's question. So Simon is asking, what advice would you give to small startups that do not prioritize customer service as an integral part of business? I know several startups, probably they do not have the resources, or it's just one person running the business at that particular point. And so you find us, most of them do not prioritize customer service. So what advice will you give to such startups? Back to you, Herin.
Sorry, my laptop just went off. I didn't get the first part of the question.
Sorry for that. Let me just come up again. So Simon is asking, what advice will you give to small startups that do not prioritize customer service as an integral part of business?
Thank you for that question, Simon. Like I said, client service is very important. So maybe just to, for them who do, I think some of these things it's because we do not know. Or so I tend to believe for them who do not prioritize customer service as a structure in their businesses, it's because of lack of knowledge and what customer service entails. So just to, maybe they need to be trained and told more about customer service and what customer service entails, because customer service is what I tend to believe it's what entirely runs the company. Because you imagine a situation where customer service is how you service your customer and how well you service them. So if I don't service my customers well, then I lose these clients. So it's a point of having to train them and having to remind them and having to bring them to a point of knowing that customer service is an important body in every company. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much. Customer service is an integral part for any company, no matter how small the business is. I would also like to tie it up with this question, still referring to the small businesses. In your view, or with your experience, what could you say are some of the barriers that probably small businesses face when they are communicating or handling clients?
So some of the barriers to good customer service is the customer service agent, let me call them agent or executive, not paying attention to customers' concern. If I raise a complaint, you should be able to understand what I'm talking about. You should be able to resolve. So if you're not paying attention to my problems, then it will not work out. So they should be, and this happens. Why would I fail to pay attention? It's because of some customer service agents will lack that patience with customers. So there is a way that we should mold ourselves to have patience and being able to pay attention to every detail and every concern that the customer raises. There is also the part of indifference. There was a time when some of our customers felt they shouldn't talk to Kenyans, they want to talk to their fellow Indians. So there can be a clash, but in that case, what happens? I will refer the member to whoever he or she is comfortable to talk with, just for us to be able to maintain that client. I will not lose the client because the client does not want to talk to me. I should be able to find a solution. If she does not want to talk to me, can she talk to someone else so that we retain that client? Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. All right, I'll take the next question. So, there's a question here by Nancy. How fast do you explicitly respond to a complicated and urgent issues when it's above your jurisdiction as a customer service person? We all understand that as business people, or when you are handling different customers, customers are sometimes difficult, as much as we always say that the customer is always right. So customer may come up with a very complicated issue, and in your view, probably the mistake could be the customers, or it could as well be the company's mistake or issue. So in case you are not able to handle it, then how can you deal with that?
Thank you for that question. So for this, it's very simple. Where I work, I'm the client service, but I have a team leader. So just recently, when there was a client whose claim, if I go to the hospital and the insurance does not cover it, so I can come and claim it from the insurance. So in this case, he comes and claims, but he does not have the documents. So now the client is wrong, but we still have to help. And we cannot put the blame on the insurance. Why? Because the client is not providing what is needed. So in this case, I have tried my best and it is not working. I have a team leader. I'll escalate it to the team leader. If it goes beyond the team leader, we have assistant managers. If it goes beyond the assistant managers, then to the managers, then now the managers will find a solution. For example, if I make a mistake as a client service, and I try to talk to the insurer to own it up, and they do not own it up. Just recently, my colleague made a mistake of around 40,000 Kenya shillings. So she was supposed to submit a claim, but forgot about it for almost a month. So when the client came back, that is when she realized, oh, I did not submit this claim. So we've lost that money, that amount of money for just a month. And the difference is 40,000 Kenya shillings. So this is definitely this is beyond us because it entails finances. The only thing that she could do was talk to the team leader, explain everything. The team leader tried, it didn't work. So she took it to the manager. So our company had to pay the client. So there are points where, as a client service, in my job description, I know what I can do and what I cannot do. If it goes beyond me, I'll have to escalate. And we're always being told, if you know very well, if the turnaround time is 1 day or 24 hours, and you have tried everything that you can, and it has not worked, you should be able to escalate to your team leader. If you do not escalate it, then you will be blamed for everything. So there is always an escalation point. If something is beyond you, you are allowed to escalate it to the next higher person. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Herin. It's always important to follow the escalation matrix in any organization, especially when you're dealing with difficult customers or when the issue is too complicated. So in the same question, but now in the context, I'm a business owner. I do not have any other staff. Probably I'm just a startup. But then I'm faced with this very difficult issue. And the issue, I'm convinced that probably the customer is wrong, or we can also see it in this other perspective. I am at fault in this case. There's something that happened, and the fault is mine, but I'm the sole business owner. How do we handle such? We have seen recently, just this week, 2 hospitals in Kenya being faulted for not giving emergency care to a patient. So I know such issues will always arise. So what advice can you give to startups or business owners on how to handle such issues and difficult customers?
If indeed the mistake is yours, you have to own it. If, for example, I was to deliver a cloth to a customer, and apparently I forgot. And remember, this cloth, she was supposed to go to wear the cloth to maybe a function on Saturday, and I was supposed to deliver it by Friday. And because of one or two reasons, I didn't have it delivered. Then I'll have to own it. It's like a fundi. It's funny how fundis do not deliver, but we still go to the same fundi. Why would we go to the same fundi? Because their services are somehow, we tend to think their services are the best. I tend to think if Mother does not sew my clothes, then no one else would. So for this case, just giving an example, because let me say Mom Tabitha has, or let me say Priscilla has a tailoring shop, and Priscilla does my clothes. But on this one, she failed me terribly. I expect Priscilla, being the business owner, to be able to send an apology, help me understand what happened. I believe for you to disappoint someone, there must have been a reason. If this is your client, it's rare that you will have no reason for disappointing them. Help the client, communicate with the client. I talked about communication. Make sure you communicate clearly. This and this happened, because things do happen. People do get emergency. I expect Priscilla to deliver on Friday, but Priscilla falls sick on Friday. And me, I'm supposed to attend this wedding on Saturday. What do? I communicate. If I'm sick and I know this was what I was supposed to work on Friday, I'll call Herin. Hi Herin, I'm supposed to deliver your clothes by tomorrow, but I'm not feeling well. I'm in the hospital. You've given me an opportunity to look for a second option. And then later find a way to communicate, this and this happened, I couldn't deliver. We are human beings, some we will understand, some we will not understand. But when you sit down in your own quiet time, you will understand. So I think communication works best. If you know you're not going to deliver, communicate. If you did a mistake that has financial repercussions, I think it's good you own it. Like, for example, how I said we did a mistake, we had to own it and pay that money as a company. So communication and owning it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That is well tackled. Elizabeth is asking, how do you handle a situation where a customer is unhappy with the solution you are offering? I believe part of this has been answered partly, but you can still answer it in detail. In a situation where a customer is unhappy with whatever you are offering them, how do you handle that? Back to you, Herin.
Thank you. Let me now go out of my workplace, because in my workplace, if a customer is not happy, what we'll do, we'll try to get an option for them. If it doesn't work, we'll try to explain this happened. We have to accept it's not in our capacity to decide. It's in the capacity of the insurance or the hospital. But let me take it back to a small business. For example, if you deliver, for example, I do buy clothes a lot and I do buy them online. So you come to me and insist I buy a cloth. That is not okay. But because I feel I need to, I just want to be your customer, I'll take the cloth. So what happens? I know most of the customers will give feedback why they are unhappy. How will you know that someone is unhappy? It's because they are giving you feedback that they are not happy. So can you take that feedback and work on it? You cannot know, you cannot assume that I'm not happy. I'll have to give you a reason why I'm not happy. For example, you bring me a cloth that I don't like. I'll tell you, I don't like this cloth. But because you've spent the whole day making this cloth and bringing it to me, I'll just take it. Already there is feedback. You have my feedback. I don't like this clothes because of this and that. So for unhappy customers, feedback is what helps us to work on their feedback so that next time you deliver. I tend to believe that works so well, because if I have to be unhappy, I have to say why I'm unhappy. I can't tell you I'm not happy. It's on rare occasion that I'll tell you I'm not happy without a reason. I cannot say I'm not happy without a reason. I have to tell you why I'm unhappy. So in that, you'll get to know why am I unhappy, and can I do something about this unhappiness that is in the customer. I am unhappy because you didn't reply me on time. So next time I'll try. If you text me, I'll try and reply on time. I'm unhappy because you didn't bring me what I want. I'll try my best. If you told me you needed a red dress and I brought a maroon dress, as an entrepreneur, as a tailor, I would try my best and go look for that exactly that and tell you, I have another dress. Would you kindly consider it? So for unhappy clients, communication, take back their feedback and work on it.
Great. Thank you so much. I believe we are all learning. Let's always take feedback and act on it. Now to Simon's question. Simon says many companies are integrating AI into customer service, the likes of using the chatbot and all that. So as a professional in customer service field, do you think replacing entire service with AI is a good business decision? That is question one. I'll tie it with another question here. So again, in this digital era, how do you ensure that customer service is personalized, so that even as you handle customers, be it on via various channels, phone calls, email, how do you ensure it is personalized to an extent that it doesn't sound mechanical and all that? Yes, Herin?
I didn't internalize well the first question, but I think it's about AI. You know, the funny part is, someone once said, AI does not think. Like you tell it what to do, it cannot think on your behalf. So you have to tell it. If I'm a client service, I use AI, that is ChatGPT. AI just helps me to explain what I want the client to know very well. Like I would tell it, can you write this with empathy? What is it going to write? I have to tell it what to write. So it cannot write a message before I tell it. If AI cannot replace client service, because it does not understand the problem unless you try and tell it. Uh, Irene, Esther, can you read the question again?
Thank you. Many companies are integrating AI into customer service. As a professional customer service, as a professional in the customer service field, do you think replacing entire service line with AI is a good business decision?
No, it's not, because, for example, if I go to they just recently I was getting into ICA, how do we call it? ICA MMF portal, and I had a problem. So I texted it, hi, I'm having a problem. And it's bringing me general problems. I'm like, no, this is not the problem I'm talking about. And I had to be harsh so that they had to appoint someone to give me a call. who could better understand what I'm talking about, because they're giving me general problems. Every problem, every customer has that problem. If you're able to sort out this problem, for example, in insurance, then the customer should be able to look at the table of benefits or the policy document and internalize everything. But because they cannot do that, you have to help them. Even AI itself cannot internalize all of that. So AI cannot. I don't believe that they should use it like we use it, but we only use it to add on to what we have. I have to think, I have to tell ChatGPT what to write. It's like spicing what I am saying. And then we were just being told just recently, our boss was telling us, so you need to have empathy. Sometimes you get pissed off and you don't have that empathy. So when you feel this client has pissed me off, I'll just go to ChatGPT and tell ChatGPT, help me write this with empathy. So I put it, hi, so and so, do this. Then now it only adds to what I have written. And then AI it does not go into the details of your problems. That is what I have noticed. It does not go into the details. Someone, if you talk to a client service, they'll go into the details. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much. I can see Reynard has a question. So this is the question. In high pressure moments where workload spike, what systems or digital habits can help a service team maintain timely, professional, and customer-centric responses? So besides the ChatGPT and all that, so what are the other systems or digital habits that service teams can use to ensure that their communication or service is timely, professional, and customer-centric? Back to you, Herin.
So for this case, for us before ChatGPT, uh, it's manually it was the turnaround time. In as much as you had pressure, it was the turnaround time that would guide us. You need to reply this in 24 hours, and you need to know what to prioritize and not to prioritize. So, for example, I cannot consider a claim to be more important than an approval. Approval is where a client is in the hospital and would like to receive treatment. So I would prioritize that case. And then another thing that worked, we were introduced to a team that was known as medical concierge team. So for them, they would be able, in as much as we have the client service, there are cases that maybe would have been beyond us, and the pressure, and maybe would not understand because it needed the medical team. So the company introduced the medical team to help in responses and during pressure moments. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much. I believe that is well tackled. All right. Thank you so much, Sheila. I can see there's another question here. Okay, it's quite long, so allow me to read it. Okay, so what if me as Wendy, I have these good business skills and I'm able to perform well on the business sector because actually I'm passionate about business and I understand it very well and wish to start up a shoe and clothes business. But then I do not have the funds to start, but I'm really yearning for it as well as for my daily survival. Actually, advise me because I'm stressed. Thank you so much, Wendy. I will be welcoming our CEO in a few minutes, and I believe he will tackle that so well. So, just before I welcome him, allow me to ask one more question. Now, how do you balance client preferences as a business? Clients, usually you're selling this particular line, let's say of clothes, or if it is, let's say, cakes Probably it could be merchandise, any other merchandise. And clients, they always have different preferences. Mara, I want this type. If you're selling dresses, they'll tell you, can you also bring probably the jackets, trousers, and all that? So, how do you handle client preferences without really losing them? Yes, Herin?
In terms of preferences, you have to communicate. Like I said, if you are able to deliver, let me take it back to the local example. If I do dresses, but I have a client who prefers jackets, can I communicate well to this client that I have just started this business and I'm doing dresses? Would you mind just taking the dress or choosing in the dresses? They're also your favorites, but then if the business expands, I would consider going the direction of jackets again. For insurance where work, how does it work? You you have this client who wants an insurance, and this insurance, it must have Aga Khan in it, but Aga Khan is very expensive. That is beyond you. I cannot tell you to buy this I cannot give you this policy and yet you cannot afford Aga Khan. I have to tell you, for this you will only afford Kenya. You will only afford, let me say, Nema Hospital. So this is what Nema offers, and this is where your budget can can be fixed. This is where your budget can take us. So if you have to do Aga Khan, you have to adjust a little bit. So sometimes it's us to explain to the client that if whatever they need, they'll need to adjust. And that is why relationship also as a business, I believe there are these programs where businesses come together and you share what you do. If I sell dresses and I have a client who wants jackets and I am not able to do jackets sincerely, not because of money, but maybe because I also feel if I do jackets, they'll not sell and they'll be in stock. Why don't I refer this jacket wanting client to someone who does jackets? So that is where you should also have a relationship in um, in the insurance industry. That is what we do. If your budget, if for example we have an insurance called Sukun. So Sukun cannot give you that. Sukun, there is one that is very expensive, that is Bupa and Signa. Signa cannot take you to Aga Khan. So we'll tell you to go to Mednet. Mednet will take you to, we do referrals. Mednet will take you to Nema, it will take you to Penda. So for that case, we do referrals where your budget can manage. So if it's in a local example, if I do dresses and you're not able to do, if I do dresses and you're not able to do dresses, you want jackets, I should be able to reply. As a business owner, make sure you have connections. If I do not have this spray or perfume, I should know. And that is what I like how the people of Isili does it. When you go there and you tell them nataka hii kitenge, and they're not able to tell, they'll tell you, let me give me a picture, and they'll send it to someone. Do you have this? And within a minute you have that which you wanted, but they didn't have it. So for that, that is outside in the places, but then it's about friendship, businesses. Thank you.
I like that you can still serve the customer without losing track of your business by making use of referrals. That is well explained. There's another question here. Now, on that same note, how do you balance between business trends and sticking to the business vision one has started out from the onset? So you started a business, this is your vision, And but the world is also evolving and the market keeps changing very fast. So how do you balance between trends and sticking to the business vision one started out with from the onset? Back to you, Herin.
I think this is not. It's like someone being. Confusion is not the right word. You're not sure of what you want to do because no business would pick the same day you open it. A lot of us are always in a hurry. We want to start a business today, and the next day we are rich, or the next day that business is spread all over and it's doing well and it's bringing profit. I tend to believe I'm not so much into business. I'm not a business person, but I believe they do take time. And once you should have a vision. Your vision should guide you. You can only be you can only be unstable in terms of trends when you do not have a vision. If I have a vision of starting up a cloth line, can I be guided by that vision? Let me not start a business because someone else is doing it. When you start a business because someone else is doing it, that is when you will have a tricky balance between trends and your business. Don't do a business because someone has thrived in it, and you don't know the story behind the thriving of that person's business. First, you have to have a business, have a vision for it, and own it. Then these trends will not affect you. I believe if you have a vision, you should be able to know how best you can you can how best how well or how well you can work out your business. In as much as there are trends, that would not sway you. Have a vision. Yes.
Thank you so much. I believe that is well answered. We also had a session on business planning. I believe once you have your business plan, then it is not easy for you to deviate as much as there might be business trends and all that. The only thing you can do is incorporate whatever is in line with your business plan. Thank you. So concerning balancing client preferences, Wendy has a good addition here. She says, if I had the business, I would balance clients' preferences by first understanding what they truly want, offering options based on my expertise, and keeping open communication throughout. This way, their vision is respected while ensuring the best. I agree with that. Just as Herin also mentioned on that, communication is key, understanding what they want and keeping communication open throughout. So that marks the end of our presentation today. Just before I go to the next bit of it, where I'll be welcoming our CEO, by a show of hands, may I see those who are joining us for the first time? You can just comment. If you are joining us for the first time, we are glad to have you. We'd also like to add you to our community where you can be getting more updates. So anyone joining us for the first time today? All right. Thank you so much. Now, allow me to welcome our CEO who will take us to the next level, even as we come to the end of today's presentation. Thank you so much, our speaker, today's speaker, Herin. That was a good presentation, well tackled. I believe you covered most of the areas, if not all. And this is good enough for anyone who is looking forward to serving their customers better and maintaining good client relationships. Welcome, Reynard.
All right. Uh-huh. Uh, Thank you very, very much. I'd like us to give the duo a round of applause, the speaker and the moderator, for that spectacular job. Yeah, it's a job well done. Please put your hands together. Yeah, let's clap for them. Let's clap for them. That was wow. That was wonderful. That was good. Yeah, keep clapping, keep clapping. Next time you'll be on the same panel and we will heartily clap for you. Yeah, yes, yes, yes. Um, so first and foremost, thank you, Erin, for that A-class presentation. Yeah, it was in-depth and thoroughly practical. Yes, and I have learned a lot, and I believe our audience did learn in silence and also in also through the reactions by the emojis or by the questions they asked. Yeah, so it was great. Secondly, to the moderator, thank you very much for this. Yeah, it was nice. And to everyone who has joined, thank you very much. I can see Matthew, yes, and of course Irene, Easter, Arno Lal, it's here, Mr. Eric. Yeah, Mr. Eric, thank you very much for taking time to join. Yes, then the speaker, Irene, thank you. Maggie, I can see Peter. He calls himself Psalmist Peter with a fire emoji. Nice, nice. Thank you. Wendy, I can see DD. Could, could you please let us know your full name, DD, kindly? DD, can you able to unmute? You see, Catherine, thank you for joining. Mr. Billy Odera, yeah, thank you very much, man. Antonina, I'm so glad. Yes. I will begin concluding by addressing Wendy's question. She spoke about something touching on finances. Um, Let me begin this way. We are uh, seeking to empower ourselves skill-wise so that we are able to maximize every potential that we have, be it material potential, be it skill set potential. We really want small business owners to maximize those potentials and be able to scale into bigger businesses. Having said that, we believe that you can start small, and the greatest measure of business acumen does not lie on the millions you have. It lies on the shrewdness you employ, the ability to put to good use the little you have. I believe one day I will tell the story of how Telespark started, and it will amaze many. Yes, and it's just like any other business, we can start small and scale. For that reason, we're actually planning to have a session on finances to be coming up next week. It will be a great one. It will be a great session. And please, for no reason should you miss it. Please do not miss next week's session. We'll understand how to address finances, how to apply, how to put to good use. Yes, and therefore, to better and perhaps more closely attend to your business questions, Wendy, we have uh, we have a business launchpad program that we intend to address most of these concerns in terms of offering guidance and trying to 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 add knowledge to whatever you have so that you are able to maximize whatever you have and be able to multiply and grow. Yes, so I would invite you to join that class. so that we are able to work closely and guidance and mentorship and be able to see what best can and for sure will come out of that program. Yes, and we did reach out to some of you, and we are grateful for the feedback that you are giving us. Yeah, we really want to know how to improve and what to adjust. But more importantly, we would like you to join our specialized classes. If you are in need of rather looking forward to mastering digital skills or gaining any skill set for your business or success, please join. Um, Reach out to us and we'll be able to place you accordingly. If you'd want to be guided on how to grow your business, on how to manage your business, now to find the right people, the right team to work with you, you are welcome to to reach out to us and be able to bless you. And then the last program we'll be running is called CEOs and brand builders, where basically we are targeting leaders and we're targeting people who want to build something huge that will, of course, last long. Everything we build must or should last long. Yes, so you're welcome to join in those sessions as well. So thank you very much. And I will repeat, we are building a community of skilled professionals, competent people, and guys who are tech savvy and digitally polished, as well as business leaders who are able to exist in a network, build a network of business people, and share ideas and grow. Yeah, so don't forget that, and we actually putting our every systems in place, and it will go live anytime from now. So thank you, and stick around, and we invite your feedbacks more. Yes, yes, yes. For our collective growth. So in case you don't reach out to us for whatever query you may have, the contact details are displayed on the screen. Yes, shoot us a DM and we'll be glad to answer any of your questions and see how best we can help each other. Yeah, we believe we no one no one knowledge is universal, and we also believe that no one has the monotony of knowledge or knowledge possession. We coexist and we can help each other. The same way we are sharing with you, the same way you could share with us. And yeah, so feel free to share anything you may have with us so that we can move as a team. So thank you very much. And it has been a nice session seeing all of you. Thank you for the questions and for the interactions. And I hope to see you all next week. Unless anyone has a question or any point you'd seek further clarity on, I'd welcome you. Any question? No question. Thank you very much, and have yourselves a good night and enjoy your weekend.